Now we come to the unit of moment of a force. Okay, so the unit is easy to obtain. Forces units will be in terms of newtons, right? And that multiplied by the unit of length is meters. So therefore torque, I'm using the two words interchangeably, moment of a force or torque. In your textbook also, you are expected to understand both ways, but rarely do they use the word torque, although it is the more, in terms of academics, that is the correct term, but you can also call it the moment of a force. It's just that moment of a force is a mouthful to say. So torque will be equal to F times perpendicular distance L, line of action of force to the axis of rotation. So therefore torque will be measured in terms of Newton meter. Okay, so that covers both what is the torque, what does it do, how can you find out the torque when you're given a situation in which a force causes a rotational motion and you're told what is the distance between the force and the axis of rotation, and you also know what units the answer will come out in. So anything to be discussed now at the moment? Any clarifications required? Nothing? So then we move on.
I have a question.
Please.
Isn't Newton meter joules?
Correct, exactly. And therefore, the concept of work is important to understand this.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. That's where it kind of ties up with the concept of work. Okay, so then we'll leave the door situation behind and we'll come to another practical situation to understand the next concept. I'll just leave the torque part of it there because that's the same concept we are looking at. And this is about clockwise and anti-clockwise moments. Now, just as we saw in the door example, when you apply the force from this direction, you cause an anti-clockwise movement, and you apply the force from the top, it caused a clockwise movement. So it is possible for torque to do both things. It can cause a clockwise moment or an anti-clockwise moment. That's how we say rotational motion is given the term moment. Okay, so okay, rotational motion is equivalent to saying moment, and a very nice way in which to examine this is to take the situation of a beam balance. Okay, so what is a beam balance? The tarazu situation. Okay, so take this to be a meter stick that is suspended by a string. We have done this in class 8. I think we did the practical work on this. Balanced equally, and therefore right now it's in equilibrium. So sigma f is equal to 0. It's in static equilibrium. There are no additional forces, and therefore there is no movement either way. Now, if I dangle a small weight on this side, okay, then what will happen?
It'll go towards the weights size. It'll move anti-clockwise.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to define it. You have to define the rotational motion that is going to take place in terms of the direction. Okay, if you just say the scale will
Clockwise.
rotate, then that's not sufficient because the scale can rotate in this way or it can rotate in that way. And obviously, in this case, because there is no weight on this side, only on this side, additional weight. Therefore, you can say that there is going to be a clockwise movement, a clockwise rotation. So that we call as a clockwise moment. Okay, and uh, consequently, if you apply, let's say, a larger weight, I have slotted weight, so I put a larger weight on this side, right? And of course, if there is a clockwise, I mean, if there is a moment that is taking place, there is a rotation that is taking place, then it is not in equilibrium anymore. So therefore, there will be a clockwise moment. So now in this situation, I have added the weight on this side. What will happen?
Obviously, the heavier weight will start rotating downward.
Yeah, obviously the side in which the weight is heavier, there is going to be a moment in that direction. So therefore, in this case, the weight will cause it to rotate in this direction. Sorry, I used a different color. Okay, and therefore this will be what you call as anti-clockwise moment. Okay, so when you have an object which is suspended and in equilibrium, let's say like the beam balance, you can also take a similar situation in the case of a playground situation, right? Seesaw, again the same thing applies. Okay, depending upon how the weights are applied, you can have a clockwise moment or an anti-clockwise moment. Okay, so just to familiarize you with the terms, what is a clockwise moment and what is an anti-clockwise moment? Are there?
And sir,
Yeah,
uh, when the people are walking on the rope,
yeah.
they have that stick in hand. So, like, does it have to do with the balance, or like, how is that related?
Tightrope walking.
Yeah.
Uh, it's the same thing, but basically what they are doing is, we haven't come to this concept in 10th standard, but we have discussed it in 8th standard. Rotational inertia. So basically what somebody does when they are doing a tightrope walking, say there's a situation like this. So they are walking with a long pole in their hand. The danger is that this person, if you look at it, from the sort of front angle, if that is the rope, and this person is sort of holding the stick like that, the danger for this person is that either she is going to tip in this direction or in that direction, right? So what the pole helps you to do is it helps you to shift the inertia, the rotational inertia of the object, in such a way that in case she starts rolling in this way, what she will do is she will increase the length on that side, and that will increase the rotational inertia in such a way that it will cause her to move in that direction. So by subtly shifting, of course they won't do it a lot, but if you have pictures of people doing tightrope walking, you observe them doing this and you watch carefully what they do to the pole in their hands. Okay, so they'll kind of hold the pole in their hands and they'll kind of subtly shift it like this, one way or the other. Okay, and that is basically to increase the inertia and therefore to counter whatever movement that they are having. But that's a slightly more complicated concept. Let's just stick to the beam balance situation. Okay, so any other questions about this?